Hi everyone, how are you? So, today we have the second video of unit number 6, which is about shopping, right? So, in today's lesson, we're going to talk about vocabulary of food, right? Fruits, vegetables, meat, and other elements. So, we're going to be talking about shopping and food, and you're going to learn some expressions to talk about preferences and give your reasons. All right, so first, we have a list of shopping and try to think about the foods of this list that you like. Right? So let's go over some of the vocabulary. We have bananas, prawns, that in Spanish would be something like langostinos, chicken, potatoes, butter, onions, bread, salmon, yogurt, lamb, apples, chocolate, carrots, cheese, watermelon, beef, lettuce, lemon, rice, and broccoli. Okay, so if you want to see more references of food, you can go to page 144 to have a look at more examples. Now, important things that you should consider. So when we talk about, where is it? Beef, that is cow meat, right? Now, for the word chicken and where is it, lamb, the same word we use it to talk about animals and meat, right? So we say chicken, which is the animal, and the meat of the chicken itself, right? But in this case, we don't say cow. I don't say I'm going to eat some cow. I say beef, right? um Another common vocabulary we have is pork, which is pig meat. Yes? So you should consider that. Now, find one more food in the list that, and here we have some description. So, food that is sweet, right? Like sugar. In this case, we have bananas. What else is sweet from this list? Apples, right? Chocolate, watermelon. Then we have food that is good for you. Good for you means that something is healthy, right? So we have carrots. This is basically, um, we have different opinions on what can be healthy, but probably chocolate is not very healthy, right? And butter is not healthy. But the rest, so we have bananas, prawns, chicken, potatoes, onions, that is healthy for you. Bread, maybe not, right? Now, food that has a skin, that means that we have layers like onions, right? So most of fruits and vegetables, they have skin, right? Like bananas, um, potatoes, carrots, chicken has a skin, salmon as well, right? Watermelon has a skin, lemons as well, right? That would be it. Food that is rounded, right? Like in the shape of a circle, right? Or an round. So we have watermelons. What else is rounded or round? Onions, mm, mm, mm. Lemons as well, right? Apples are not that rounded. I think that would be it. Now, food that is good for you if you are on a diet. That means that you're taking care of what you eat, right? So you want to be healthy or maybe lose some weight. We have chicken, salmon, yogurt, apples, broccoli, lettuce, right? Carrots are healthy, are good if you're on a diet because they don't have many calories. Now we have food high in carbohydrates, right? High. That means that they have lots of carbohydrates in it. We have potatoes, right? Um, Rice as well, pasta, bread. Sugar is also high in carbohydrates. And then we have food that is low in carbohydrates. That means that it doesn't have a lot of carbohydrates in it. Lettuce, all vegetables and fruits, right? and meat is low in carbohydrates as well, right? Now, what try to think about the food that you like, right? The items that you enjoy eating and the ones that you don't like. In my case, for example, I don't like lamb, right? I don't like broccoli either. I'm not very fan of broccoli, but I really like bananas and watermelon, right? And lettuce, onions. I enjoy eating onions, like in a salad maybe, or in a sandwich sometimes. Now, let's continue. We're going to read an article of weird fruits and vegetables, right? Like weird inventions. So we have very unusual elements here. What I want you to do is to read the article. So pause the video, read the article, and I want you to see which of this image does Charlie talks about, because he is the one who writes the article. So let's try to see which of these items he mentions in the article itself. Okay, I'm going to make it a bit bigger for you so you can pause the video and read. And then, of course, you have to match them. So please pause the video now and read the articles. If there are any words that you don't understand, you can look it up in a dictionary. So are you ready? Let's see. So what are the images he talks about? We can see that from the titles. We have A, right, which are purple carrots. We also have C, he talks about square watermelons. Red bananas, letter D. Low carb potatoes, E, and the last one would be F, right? Which are strawmaters. Strawmaters, which is a very unusual name for a vegetable, right? Now, read the article again and try to think about which fruit and vegetables does Charlie like and which ones doesn't he like, and try to say why. Okay, so pause the video again and answer that question. Okay, so let's start with carrots. So does he like purple carrots or not? No, right? Why not? Because he says that they taste as normal carrots, so there's no reason to buy them, right? Because it's very similar. The only thing that changes is the color, so that is not very appealing to him. Now, does he like strawberries? Yes, right? He likes them. Why? Well, he says that they are sweet, so you can eat them with desserts, right? So that is something interesting for him to have a tomato as a dessert. What about low carb potatoes? Does he like him? Does he like them? I'm sorry. Okay, he doesn't, right? He doesn't like tomatoes. I'm sorry, low carb potatoes, because he says that people should eat either normal potatoes or a different fruit, such as lettuce. So if they don't want carbohydrates, eat some lettuce instead of eating a different type of potato. Now, what about square watermelons? Does he like them? No, right? He says he doesn't like them because they aren't natural. No fruit or vegetable is naturally square, right? So he doesn't like square watermelons. And red bananas, he likes them. He says that they taste good and they are really sweet. Very, very sweet. Very good. Let's continue. Now, here we have some of the expressions used in the article to talk about preferences and giving reasons. So the first activity is to cover the article and try to match 1 to 4 statements with letters A and D. So please pause the video and I'm going to tell you the answers in a moment. Okay, so are you ready? Let's see. We have number 1, I prefer a nice round one. I'd rather have normal potatoes. I like them because they are very sweet, and I don't like this. I think they're silly. Now, pay attention to the difference between I prefer and I rather, right? So, when I say I prefer, that means that I like something more, yes? And when I say I would, this is the contraction of the word would, I would rather have, that means that I would prefer it, or that I would like it more. Let's see. So let's see some examples. So I can say, like, I like potatoes, but I prefer rice. So you prefer something instead of another thing that you don't like, right? So instead you say, well, I like it, but I have a preference and I prefer rice, right? On the other hand, you can say, I don't like pasta, right? I rather have rice or potatoes. Yes, so in this case, you have something that you don't like, right? Pasta, and you would rather have something different, right? Me gustaría, si tuviese que elegir, right? Preferiría comer una cosa distinta because I don't like this, right? So that is the main difference. Now, try to give your own opinion about these fruits and vegetables and try to use the expressions that we have here. So let's see. Let's talk about normal potatoes versus low carb potatoes. Well, in my opinion, I would rather have low carb potatoes because I think they're healthy, right? So they are good if you don't want to get extra fat, right? And the taste is similar. So I think that low carb potatoes are a great idea and a very good solution for those people who don't want to gain weight while eating potatoes because potatoes are delicious, right? Now, let's continue with the rest of the exercises. Now we're going to be talking about something very, very common, which is uncountables and countable nouns, right? So let's see. We have the first question. It says, which food in picture A to E can you count? Of course, the ones that you can count are called countables, and the ones that you cannot count are called uncountables. So, can you count this the food in this image? Yes, right? You can count what we have in A. You can also count letter D, bananas, and you can count carrots. So I can say I want 2 watermelons, 3 bananas, and 6 carrots, right? Now, what happens with examples B and C? In this case, we have B, which are not actually complete watermelons. They are pieces of watermelon. So I cannot count pieces of watermelon in this case. And in this other case, in letter C, which we have lettuce leaves, right? So it's not very common for you to say, oh, I ate 7 lettuce leaves, right? No, you can say I ate a bowl or 2 bowls of lettuce, but in this case, lettuce is uncountable, right? Now, we have other examples like milk, for example. You cannot say, oh, I'm going to buy 1 milk. Although in Spanish we use it all the time, but when you talk about milk, you talk about the liquid, yes, not the package. So you can say 2 liters of milk, right? Or two maybe cans of milk or boxes of milk, but the milk itself is uncountable. Yo no puedo decir me voy a tomar una leche, si yo digo un vaso de leche, ¿cierto? O compré una caja de leche, right? The same happens for rice. Rice is very small, so you cannot count rice. You cannot say, oh, I ate 70 rices. That's not common, right? Now, something you need to know, right, is that in some cases like A and B, it depends on what they mean. It's the same object, but in different formats. So this one is countable and this one is uncountable. Now, match the pictures to the sentences we have 1 to 5 in the table. So here we have countable sentences and uncountable sentences for uncountable nouns. How many bananas do you want? I prefer a nice round watermelon. So that would be letter A. Yes? Number 2, I would like some carrots, please. E. I eat a lot of bananas. D. And then for uncountable, we have a different question, right? How much lettuce would you like? Have some lettuce. C. And then we have I eat a lot of watermelon in this format, right? Now, what do you have to know when we talk about countables and uncountables is that for countable nouns, we can use singular and we can use them in plural as well. So when we talk about them in singular, of course, you can say a and an, depending on the object, right? You can say an apple or a banana, right? An apple, a banana. And for plurals, we can use the concepts some and a lot. Like in this case, some carrots, a lot of bananas, right? But for uncountables, we only use the word in singular. Yes, so I can say have lettuce, right? How much lettuce? We're not going to say lettuces, yes, or milks, right? We use it only in singular, but we don't use a or an. We use some and a lot. So that can be a bit confusing. Now, when we talk about singular, is that we cannot add an S at the end. I cannot say milks, but I can say I drink a lot of milk, right? So in this case, some and a lot of can be used with both, but only for countables we can put an S at the end of the noun. All right? So now here we have the rules. So match the 3 rules. It says you can use many, a, and an with numbers with countables, uncountables, or with both. What do you say? B, right? In this case, I'm going to match it like that. You can use many, a, an, and numbers with countables. 1 carrot, 2 carrots, a carrot, many carrots. You can use much only with uncountables. Much lettuce, much milk, much rice. And you can use some and a lot with both, right? Countables and uncountables. Now, let's practice some exercises. Circle the correct word and at the same time, decide if we are talking about countables or uncountable nouns. All right, so please pause the video because we're going to check in a moment. So let's see. Number one would be, how many tomatoes would you like? And this is countable, right? Number two, how much milk do you have in your tea? And that would be uncountable. Would you like some rice? Rice is uncountable again. I would like an apple, please. That is countable, right? I buy a lot of bread every week. This is uncountable. Can you buy some bananas? This is countable, right? Because we can use banana with the S at the end. 7. I would like some lettuce in my sandwich. And this is uncountable. And the last one, I need 6 tomatoes. And this is countable, right? Very good. Now let's go to page 137 to have a look at more exercises. Okay, so here we have the explanation. Countable nouns can be used with singular and plural, right? You can use a or an with singular countable nouns. A book, some books, right? Uncountable nouns don't have a plural, and you can't use a or an with them, right? So we say some pasta. No, we cannot say some pastas or a pasta. Many nouns can be countable and uncountable. So in this case, we have 3 potatoes. And in this case, when we have like smashed potatoes, we cannot use countables. Again, we have a chicken, but this you cannot count. So we say some chicken. Now here we have the difference. We use how many to talk about countables and how much to talk about uncountables. Now, how do I know? Because in this case, we have lettuce without an S, and here we have lettuces, right? When we talk about the entire vegetable. I would like a lettuce, 1 lettuce, of course, 6 carrots, some carrots, a lot of, which can be used in both. A lot of lettuce as well. Now, for plural, right, we talk about some lettuce. For uncountables, I'm sorry. And that is the same for countables as well. Now, complete the sentences with a, an, some, much, or many according to what it corresponds, right? So please pause the video now and complete the questions. Are you ready? So let's see. Number 1 would be, I eat an orange every day. An orange every day. Would you like some pasta? Can I have an apple? Number 4. I had some toast for breakfast this morning. 5. I would like some biscuits. Here we have it in plural, right? Biscuits. So this is countable. Can I have a banana? How much meat do you eat? And then we have how many eggs would you like? Did you have them correct? Now, final exercise. Just circle the correct word, how much, how many cheese do you usually buy every day, and you choose between the two options. So pause the video now, and I'm going to be giving you the answers. Now let's see. Number one, how much cheese do you usually buy every week? How many eggs would you like? How many coffees did you drink yesterday? How much fruit do you usually eat every day? How many onions did you buy? And how much chocolate do you eat? Now, be careful with number three, right? Coffee is actually is uncountable, right? We count cups of coffee, but of course, in this case, we refer to cups of coffee, and that is why we use many. Like, how much coffee did you drink yesterday? The answer would be, oh, I drank 4 cups of coffee, right? I'm not going to be as ambiguous in the test, so don't worry. But keep in mind that in some cases, both answers might be correct. It depends on the meaning. All right? So, as always, if you have any question, you can contact me at my email, and I will see you in the next video. All right? Bye bye.